Should you draft Jonathan Taylor in fantasy football this year? Well, let's talk about it. Jonathan Taylor is suffering from a bad case of whiplash this year. Last year, he was drafted as a fringe first-round pick and ended up finishing as only a fringe RB1, finishing as the RB12. Because of this, he's currently only ranked as the RB10 or the 26th player overall. Listen, a lot of people were very disappointed with Jonathan Taylor last year. People drafted him as a high upside player they thought could maybe get back to the RB1 overall he was a few years ago, and he just didn't do that. There was a little bit of injuries that slowed him down. He missed 3 games, but he also, even after coming back from those 3 games, he had a stretch where he just wasn't very good. And I know a lot of people are disappointed with him, but I kind of want to, I think that he's now being underdrafted because of just people had really high expectations last year, and he didn't hit them, but I still think he had a good season overall. Like, if you're Jonathan Taylor, you might have been disappointed from where he was drafted, but he wasn't really a bad player overall. I mean, just to look at some facts. Last year, 17.5 points per game. I don't know about you, but if I have an RB averaging 17.5 points per game, I'm pretty happy with that guy. And, he did only have 4 games over 20 points, and he did have 5 weeks with less than 10 points, but I think a lot of that had to do just with the Colts were kind of mid last year. And I think that stretch when he came back from injury where he just was putting up less than 10 points might not have been his fault. And yeah, I know the Colts aren't probably trending upward this year. The latest camp report is that it might be Daniel Jones under center, which gross. But, I think that it might not matter. Regardless of who the quarterback is under center, whether it's Richardson or Daniel Jones, they're going to steal Richardson's yards, they're going to steal goal line touchdowns, and they're probably not going to throw checkdowns. That's one of the big knocks on Jonathan Taylor, I think, is the fact that he just doesn't, these quarterbacks he has aren't really the checkdown type because they're just going to take off running. Taylor, the last 2 years, has only had 25 targets per season versus 43 average for over the first 3 years of his career. And I mean, yeah, that's not great, but I still think Jonathan Taylor the whiplash from last year, I think, has set him up to be a really good fantasy asset this year. Like I said, he's currently the RB10, but he's the 26th player overall. That's an early third-round pick on a guy who averaged 17.5 points per game last year. What are we doing? If you go 0 RB through the first 2 rounds and you end up with, Jamar Chase, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, and you want to pick Jonathan Taylor as your RB1, I think that's a great pick. I am ecstatic about Jonathan Taylor. I'm giving him an A- just because I think that where he is draft-wise really sets him up for success this year.